Good morning and welcome. Uh, Today we're going to get a little serious on the channel. We're talk a lot about this little stream and our effects on the environment. First off, I'm going to make a statement. I'm not a climatologist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a meteorologist. My background is anthropology and geology, and I have farmed my entire life and worked in the woods. Even while I was in college, I worked either in the timber or in farming to support myself. And I did not complete my senior year. That was due to financial issues. So I do not have a bachelor's in either of those subjects as well. I'm going to make that clear. I want somebody to go out there quoting me saying, well, he's an expert, said this or that, because I'm not. But I do know this stream has changed. When I moved here, we fished here. The stream was much narrower, and this would always flow water. And I knew people that were close to 100 years old that fished here when they were young, in their youth. So add that 30 to, let's just give it 90. That goes back 120 years. This stream always flowed until 15 years ago, when it didn't. During droughts, people would come for up to 15 miles to get water right here. And in other places like this. There's a couple of places you can see where they drove wagons down into here to fill barrels with water to haul away. Because this was always reliable. This stream never run out of water. There are few places where you can see trees that were bent. They were bent to point to various springs that fed this stream that go back to even before white settlers arrived in this area. Because this was always water, always reliable. It's not anymore. What has happened is upstream, you get away from here and you don't see this. There's no timberlands like this left. There's no grasslands left. It's all row crop, commodity crops. They're not even really growing food. A lot of it's going for ethanol production or biodiesel. So we're not even worried about raising food on that land. It's all about raising commodities, something that be turned into ethanol or biofuel. And of course, the waste product, the byproducts do go for animal feed. So they'll give them that. But we've changed. Because we've changed how we use the land, we've changed the stream. CO2 gets added to the environment. That adds fuel, makes the storms worse. Our rains don't come anymore in the 1, 2, 3 centimeter rains that last all day. We get downpours. We get 10, we get 15, we get 20 centimeters in an afternoon. Then this creek fills up with water, goes out of its banks, rages through here, taking more soil with it and bringing soil with it from the fields because the water's caught in terraces. There's no more waterways up there to catch the dirt. It's all terraces. It comes out that drains on the terraces. Thunders through here, widens the banks, and then in a couple days it's back to this state. It's dry again. Well, the CO2 makes those storms more common. They add fuel as heat. Well, CO2 helps capture heat. Heat adds fuel to the fire, so to speak, makes the storms worse. The storms get worse. It's just a cycle. It just feeds on itself. And we can look at what the climate was like when a lot of the CO2 was stored away. it definitely wasn't very friendly towards human beings. And it leads me to another point. We know fossil fuels are finite. Eventually, the well goes dry. Uh, there's no more petrol in that well. There's no more crude oil. Eventually, the natural gas wells will go dry. There won't be any more natural gas. Farther off down the road, eventually the coal mines go dry. Sorry, boys, you hauled out the last fern. Peat does replenish itself a little faster. There's, and but it's dirty fuel. And I do like the smell of a peat fire, but eventually it won't keep up. So wouldn't we be smart to now start really being serious about transitioning away from those fossil fuels? Well, we still have the stuff to use for manufacturing. Well, I thought maybe there was a fossil there. I do find some fossils down here. But to make those transitions now, well, we have some time. Where if we make a mistake, we still have time. If we try to develop a technology and it doesn't work, we don't need it tomorrow. We have a few days. We have a little time. Rather than wait till the last minute, we're supposed to be a smart species. And I really don't understand why we'd want to run ourselves into a wall, so to speak. That's all I've got for today on this subject. Y'all to go out there, have a wonderful day. Think about it. Maybe you can do a little something. Think about your usages and your wastes. But go out there, have some fun. Play around a little bit. Stay safe, and above all,